Yo, adventurers, welcome back to Ani 7, where we dig up the best anime treasures just for you. Dungeons, the ultimate playground for adventurers. Mysterious ruins filled with hidden treasures, deadly traps, and probably a few monsters just waiting to ruin someone's day. But hey, that's what makes them exciting, right? And since I know you love that dungeon diving thrill, I've got some awesome anime recommendations just for you. Stick around till the end because I'll be flashing 20 more dungeon-themed anime that you won't want to miss. Let's get this adventure started.
寝るな。
ベンチ、ミリ？
俺の世界の長さの単位だ。
ラファンパンの体がだいたい1マデラカだ。
何を基準にしたんだろう。
わしが答えよう。作ったマデラカ一世はそれはチンチンが長い王様だった。彼はそのチンチン、その長さを基準に1マデラカ。
最低だろ。
長い。
Next, Handyman Saito in Another World. Who needs a sword when you have a really good set of tools? Saito is a humble handyman, fixing doors, picking locks, and being ridiculously underappreciated in his normal life. But when he gets isekai'd into a fantasy world, suddenly his basic handyman skills become legendary. Teaming up with a slightly clueless but powerful wizard, a battle-hardened warrior, and a fairy cleric who charges for every heal. Seriously, capitalism exists everywhere. Saito proves that even the smallest skills can save a party's life, whether it's fixing their broken armor mid-battle or picking a lock to escape an angry dungeon beast. This guy's just as valuable as any hero with a sword. It's a hilarious, heartwarming take on adventuring, proving that sometimes you don't need magic to be MVP.
待て待て、サイト。寝るな。
Next scenario! What do you do when your master catches a cold? And you'll have to use a prop this time.
Important that you get your rest when you're suffering from a cold. Open wide, Noir.
She's blowing on it, but it's cold bread! Is it actually hot? She's doing it so naturally. Does that mean she's always feeding him freshly baked bread? This isn't like when I've ever had a cold before. What's with them?
Now, a hidden dungeon only I can enter. A secret dungeon with OP skills, rare treasures, and a very hands-on training method. Yep, things get spicy. To meet Noir Stargate, he's your typical underdog in a fantasy world where social status decides your entire life. But Noir has one special trick. He can consult a great sage for advice. The only downside, every time he does, he gets a headache so bad it could knock out a dragon. To get stronger, Noir stumbles upon a hidden dungeon filled with powerful abilities, magical items, and a very flirty, centuries-old adventurer named Olivia, who's trapped inside. Luckily for Noir, she decides to train him by giving him her skills directly. And by directly, I mean, well, let's just say this anime has plenty of fan service and some unconventional ways to boost his power. If you like dungeon crawling mixed with over-the-top comedy and unique character interactions, this one's for you.
手伝うよ。いいえ、ノルさんに必要なのは私の事務経理能力。おっぱいに計算ができますか？できませんよね。間を取って私がノル殿と。間を取る意味！タイム！
みんな、また連絡するから、今日のとこ。
寝るな。
Next, Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions. Think of this as an RPG but on nightmare difficulty, where even the goblins make you sweat. Someday, a group of strangers wakes up in a world that looks straight out of a fantasy RPG. Cool, right? No, there are no tutorials, no cheat codes, and definitely no respawns. Instead, they're just regular people thrown into a brutal fight for survival. Our main guy, Haruhiro, starts off as a nobody, no money, no gear, and no clue how to swing a sword. With his newfound party, he quickly learns that even taking down a single goblin is an all-day event. Unlike typical OP protagonists, this squad struggles hard, every battle is intense, every loss is devastating, and every victory, well, it's hard-earned. If you love deep, emotional storytelling mixed with raw, realistic fantasy survival, this anime is a must-watch. But be warned, this isn't your happy-go-lucky dungeon crawl. This one hurts.
さねえぞ、チッパイの分際で。
チッパイ？
シホルみてえな隠れ巨乳だけだ。ごめん。
寝るな。
Next we have Delicious in Dungeon Ute Ka, the only anime where eating a griffin omelet is a valid battle strategy. Our story begins with a failed dungeon raid that leaves adventurer Laios and his party broke, starving, and desperate. The good news? They can still explore the dungeon. The bad news? Their only food source is everything that moves. With the help of Senshi, a master dungeon chef, they learn how to turn deadly creatures into delicious meals. Ever wondered what fried dragon tail tastes like? Or how to cook a slime without it tasting like wet socks? Well, these guys are here to find out. But it's not all about food. They've also got a very serious mission to rescue Laos' sister from the stomach of a dungeon dragon. Yes, she was literally eaten. So naturally, the solution is to keep eating monsters until they're strong enough to fight back. Logic checks out.
He's good.
Laios really is.
A dog.
So you've finally shown yourself. The one who flinches first is the one who loses!
寝るな。
お前は敵か?
Now let's talk about Arifureta, or as I like to call it, that one time I got betrayed and turned into a dungeon beast. Hajime Nagumo is your everyday, average high schooler until he and his classmates get isekai'd into a fantasy world. Everyone else gets awesome battle skills, while Hajime gets rock alchemy. Great. That's super useful when fighting actual dragons. After getting yeeted into the bottom of a deadly dungeon, Hajime does the only logical thing. He eats monsters, mutates, builds OP weapons, and turns into an absolute beast. Oh, and he picks up a vampire waifu along the way. Standard dungeon survival stuff. From weakling to walking apocalypse, Hajime goes full revenge mode, steamrolling enemies and making sure nobody messes with him ever again. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the guy with a gun and monster DNA.
どちら様ですか？
こいつらは
ゆえ、シアです。はじめさんの女です。
寝るな。
Next up, we have Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, an anime that asks, what if Aladdin had a cheat code for life? This story follows Aladdin, a cheerful kid with a magical flute that summons a Magi, muscle-bound djinn named Ugo. He teams up with Alibaba, I'm broke but I want to be rich, and together they dive into mysterious dungeons filled with lethal traps, OP djinn, and treasure piles bigger than my anime watch list. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. Talia's dungeons in this world aren't your regular loot and leave places. They are mystical death traps built by ancient beings called Magi. Only those with incredible skill or insane luck can conquer them and claim a djinn's power. But be warned, dark forces lurk behind the scenes, political chaos is brewing, and our heroes have no idea what they've gotten themselves into.
お姉さん？ひどいアラジンくん。どうしてこう男の人ってタプタプしてる女の子の方が好きなんだろうね。
寝るな。
ボレット
Next on our list, ah yes, Danmachi, the anime with the title so weird you have to explain it every time. This one's a classic. We've got Belle Cornell, a sweet, innocent rookie adventurer with big dreams of becoming a hero. He ventures into the infamous dungeon where monsters pop up like bad life choices, and he gets wrecked. But hey, at least he gets saved by his crush, Ace Wallenstein, the coolest swordswoman in town, fueled by love and maybe a little embarrassment. Belle trains harder than anyone else. Oh, and he's got Hestia, his adorable jealous goddess, cheering him on. She's small but mighty, like a pocket-sized hype squad. Belle's special ability allows him to grow ridiculously fast, and before you know it, he's fighting Minotaurs, forming alliances, and leveling up like he's on steroids. Between the action, the awkward romantic tension, and Hestia's legendary blue ribbon, Danmachi is a hilarious and heart-pounding adventure. But hey, I promised you more, didn't I? Here are 20 more Dungeon Earthy anime for you to check out. And there you have it. Whether it's exploring ancient ruins, fighting off monsters, or looting legendary treasures, these anime have it all. Take a look and let me know your favorites in the comments. This is Annie7 signing out.
あらあら、さようなら。